Hey, we're the More Club here in the Design District in Miami, and today I'm very excited. We have Kobi Karp, one of the leading architects, and a friend,
Mm.
and an architect. We work together. We have a few projects now going together, and I'm very excited to hear Kobi's journey to make it to where he is now. Such a successful, well-known, internationally well-known architect. Had a huge impact on Miami. So everyone knows that part of Kobe, but I want to hear about how Kobe made it and the journey of Kobe Karp um, to this position he is and what it took from him and how he did it.
Look,
So Kobe, I'll let you talk.
number one, thank you for having me, Doron. I was born in 1962 in Israel, and obviously Israel of 1962 is a little bit different than it is today.
For sure.
But I had the pleasure of growing up in a very sort of agrarian community where you can see the orange groves and smell the flowers and smell the dirt, which is called chamra, when the rain hits it. So I became close to the natural environment. I always liked it very much. That led me to have my first degree in environmental design from MIT. That's Minnesota Institute of Technology, not. And then, but that's where I went to school. I went to school in Minnesota, and I grew up in Minnesota. From 0 to 12, I was in Israel. And I liked it very much. Growing up in Israel in those years, 1962 till 1974, were very good years. People in Israel are from every corner of the world. My neighbors were from Argentina, they were from Morocco. And so it was good to see different people. And that was a good prelude because when I came to Miami, it was again a collection of people. When I grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it was mostly homogenous. So sixth grade, junior high, high school, university was all in Minnesota. Growing up as, as a good old boy in Minneapolis.
And then you went to college there. That's the MIT, Minnesota Institute
Yeah,
of Technology.
yeah, yeah.
So what drew you to architecture?
You know,
Or environmental design?
it, it's
Sustainable design?
it's evolution because what happened is that when I started to work, and I was always good at drawing,
So
and
like you're one of those kids that was drawing in classes all the time?
yes, and I have beautiful color pictures that I used to draw with pencil, which was of parrots and animals. And then my drafting teacher in ninth grade in school said to me, Kobe, you see things three dimensionally. So when very few people can see things three dimensionally, as it also moves and rotates around. And that was my drafting class. And he said, you should study to be a draftsperson or an engineer or an architect. I did not know the difference between architecture or interior design or engineering. I didn't know the difference. But what happened is that an architectural company gave me a job outside the office. They were building in Minnesota homes and low rises, and I lived in Minneapolis, and they didn't have a job for me in the office because the
Yeah.
economy was crap. So I worked outside. I laid railroad ties. I did landscaping, and they gave me a job building models. Back then, we used to build models out of cardboard and yarrow. They looked like trees, and I was good at that. And I did that, and they liked it. And I like to work, and I enjoyed it. And so, because I enjoy it, I think it makes a big difference that if I do what I like and I become better at it and I like what I do, I can also provide a better service to the client, to
Right.
the boss, to my friends. That's really the key. The key is to do something that you enjoy and then potentially be good at it.
Oh,
So what happened is that when I took the exam, my parents lived in Florida. And back then, you have to remember, it's like Miami Vice and Scarface days, 1987. And my parents sent me a Miami Herald.
where were they living in Miami?
They lived in Fort Lauderdale,
Huh?
Lauderdale by the sea.
Huh?
Yeah, they love Fort Lauderdale. I would come here and I would drive the car, and it was like a stage set because the sun would be setting in the west, and all the buildings get lit up by the sunlight. And I would be driving, and I would think that this is heaven. And
So you like that Art Deco, Miami
loved it.
Modern?
Loved
You
it.
love it.
I loved it. And back then it was Miami Vice and
I
Scarface
don't see it
days.
a lot. It still influences you?
The buildings that we
Like you're
do,
very modern, clean cut. No, now.
the buildings that we do, let's say you take the Caribbean condominium on 3737 Collins Avenue. It it has a Mimo historic building that was built in the late 40s. So what we did is we bring you into the historic lobby, the terrazzo walls, and we bring you into that lobby and then bring you into the new building. So what happens is that we give you the opportunity to experience the past and
Right.
come into the new. And we do that repeatedly. What I mean by that is I do it in the Caribbean condo.
Yeah.
And I do it next door. I did the Roy France building, which is a Cadillac hotel. I brought back the Roy France lobby because they closed it off for decades. We brought back the Roy France lobby.
You're influenced still by those memories of
Yes.
just getting here to Miami.
Yes.
Actually, my daughter was asking me about it, and she
Yes.
wrote one of the questions that period influenced you.
Yes.
And
I think
you're bringing into your architecture now.
I think that the Mimo and or the historic district of Miami Beach, it's not just Miami Beach. You can go to the Breakers in Palm Beach. You can go to the White City in Tel Aviv. You can go to Loanda in Kyoto, and you have these Portuguese turn of the century buildings that are very streamlined and very curvy.
But what do you think about the Mimo district there in Miami, next to Little River? Just after Edgewater. Between 50 and 80th Street there in Biscayne Boulevard.
I think
Isn't it kind of a dead quarter? It's like they made it has to be Mimo now. So they have those restrictions there, but it's kind of like I drive there every day to my office and say like it's not moving anywhere. It's like stuck 20 years.
What
worth.
happens is that people then base on preservation.
Right.
And when you base your urban planning or your city on preservation, you need to take into consideration that cities are always in a transition phase. They're always growing or they're shrinking.
Right.
Miami has been growing a little bit in the 80s due to the drug business here into the 90s. And then it started to grow a little bit more in the 90s to the early 2000s.
Right.
And then there was a little boomlet, if you will, before 08 and 9, right? After September 11, 2002 to 2007, 8, there was a boomlet of people just buying on spec. But what happens is that you have the intrinsic architecture here that has existed. And if you can play off of that architecture with new construction, it's splendid.
Right.
Take the Surf Club. Surf Club is a medieval building. It was an exclusionary club. Most people could not go there. But you need to be able to take the historic building and restore it and remove all the nonsense that was put upon it and encumbered it. And then the new buildings have to be modern because you need to know what is old and what is new.
Right.
It's like I meet you. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you, Doran. You're very nice. You're 6'3", good looking guy. Great. But that's you.
Right.
Now, if I want to meet the next generation,
Right.
which is arguably an upgraded version of you, higher ceilings, that would be the crystalline volumes of the Surf Club. And then you appreciate the old.
And
you
that's
see
kind
the-
of what they're not doing in that neighborhood. They're kind of stuck only. They're not really allowed.
You got it. When you restrict development,
Right.
you're restricting the future recycling of the city.
Yeah.
Wynwood, it's a recycling of industrial buildings into food, beverage, whatever you want to call it. You need to be able to recycle the buildings. You need to be able to recycle the hotels to be residential, the residential to be hotels, into offices, so that they can be rejuvenated and the next generation can come in and occupy them to their likeness.
I like how you describe it. Let me take you back a second. Jump back. I'm sorry we're jumping back and forth.
Anytime.
Let's jump a second. So your first job. What's your first architectural job in Miami?
That's a good question. I didn't.
Broward or Miami?
Well, my first job that I came to Miami was in Miami. It was on Lincoln Road, in the Sterling Building, 925 Lincoln Road. It was an empty building that Kathy Leff was operating for Mickey Wolfson. And my people who hired me offered me $30,000 a year and I had to be here in Miami in 30 days. This is 1988.
It's an architecture
They were,
firm?
they were doing all-inclusive resorts and hotels in the British West Indies, St. Lucia, Grenada, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Jamaica. That's where I lived. Grenada.
You live there?
I lived there. Yeah, in order to build these buildings, you have to go and you have to live there.
You were married then already?
No, I was single. I came in 1988.
Like a love boat. You lived like on a love boat and a cruise,
Yeah,
but the hotels were not on construction. So they
This
weren't-
guy Daron is real delusional, guys. You understand that? He's real delusional. 1988 in the Caribbean. There's no phones. There's no beeper. We had beepers, and there's no air conditioning. Where we work in construction site, you walk around with t-shirts and shorts
Yeah.
on construction sites in the Caribbean building Club Meds. We built the Club Med in San Salvador. We built the Club Med in Paradise Island. Club Med was a big client.
I
of
know.
ours
I
in
know.
the
It was a
Americas.
big name. It used to be a big name club.
Used to be a big name.
I used to take my daughter.
That was in 1996 is when the company was created, and then we slowly just continued to do the work on a daily basis.
Right. And you have partners or you just yourself?
I don't have any partners.
Since then?
Never had any,
Never had.
any partners, but the people in my company are more than partners. They are the directors and they run the company.
Oh, so 1996 to now. So it's 30 years.
1996 now, 30 years.
30 years exactly. You're not going to do a big party? 30 years of Kobi Karp and designers and architects and interior design?
Now that you mention it, Daron, I need to do it.
You did. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So what was the first, you opened your own company. What was the first big project you got? You said, okay, I think I'm going to...
Astor Hotel was...
Astor Hotel. Tell us a little bit about that.
Astor Hotel came in 1993 at the same time as the Delano was opening up. And it was a big hit. We opened it up and it
It's
was...
in South Beach.
It's in South Beach. It's on Washington Avenue and 10th Street. And
So you still continue in hotels. That was an easy place. We had all the experience from hotels.
hotels and resorts is something that not only have I designed for many decades, but also I worked in hotels. I was the
But
front
you're more
desk.
well known for condos, right? Am I right? I'm not
Some-
enough. You like...
Some people know us for condos. Some people know us for condo hotels. Like right now, we're doing the Shore Club. It's a condo hotel. Shell Bay. It's a condo hotel.
When you moved to the when was your first condo project? Project you got?
The first condo project I got. It's interesting. It's in Surfside.
Surfside, okay.
Yes, when you
The
drive
one that collapsed.
across the street. Regretfully, yes, you're correct. But it's right across the street. It's like a Mediterranean revival.
Okay.
And it has hand-painted towels on it by the Kouros brothers. Kouros and Kouros were Cuban twin brothers,
Right.
and they would paint the hand-painted tiles on Lincoln Road.
Wow.
And that we used them on many of our jobs.
It's still there, the building? Or they took it down?
The what? The
Is it
building?
still there?
The building is still there. You can
Wow.
drive by and you can see it.
I never noticed. I want to look for the
When you
painting
drive
with the building and tiles.
on
On the outside, you see the tiles.
Uh-huh.
Painted tiles?
Yes, on the left-hand side when you drive.
So what, you did a Mediterranean mixture? So what was the
Back
style
then-
then? What were you building? So 1993, what kind of style of condos you building?
The city of Surfside only wanted Mediterranean style buildings. So even when we did the first design to the surf club, they wouldn't let us do a modern building. I'll show you watercolors. It was a Mediterranean revival a la Coral Gables.
When you think the modern, the glass, the modern, the condo, the ones we see now in Miami, when did it boost? Like when did it become? That's it. That's the fashion. That's what everyone.
I think that people, when they start to understand design, they look for quality.
Right.
And when people seek quality and then they have a certain desire, then buildings that we do, modern buildings on Fisher Island, which are a celebration of the Vanderbilt mansion, they are Mediterranean in their DNA. Yet what's interesting is that they sell for a high price per foot because the quality of the finishes and the materials. So I don't think that people are necessarily stylized to be only crystalline volumes. I think that people are seeking to have a design with good quality. And
No, it's quality. I want to take it. That's a big question we're talking. Quality, is that something that now, with all the people moving here from California and New York, Canada, is that something that even more, because the quality in New York obviously is the highest kind of a finish level, and even architecturally and the coverings of the coverings of the building. You see the change on the last 3 years because
Yes.
of that movement. Yeah.
yes, you can Look, we did Arte in Surfside, it's all clad with stone. We did Seaway next door, it's all clad with stone. But you also have to be cognizant that the original surf club is all glass crystalline
Right.
building. So the next building is stone, but it's curved. The
Right.
next building is stone, but it's cutting edge,
Right.
sharp edges. So what happens is that you need to create the quality, like you said,
Right.
but you have to differentiate. People want buildings to be different from each other so that their building stands apart from other
Right.
buildings. And they can say, oh, this is my building. Oh, and I live on the upper floor, and you can architecturally see it, and it becomes more human to
Right.
you.
So, it's going to be hard, but try. 3 architectural projects that you did. You probably don't want to upset your clients. That you're still proud, and you say, you know what, those are the 3 projects I did. And then give me 3 architectural projects that other architects in Miami, and you drive by and you say, you know what, that's very nice. I like it.
So the 3 architectural projects that I like very much,
Right.
that, and it's not only 3, there's many more that give me inspiration on a daily basis, are projects that were done by a dear friend of mine named Morris Lapidus. Whether it's the Eden Rock, the Fountain Blue, Lincoln Road, even now I'm doing the Ritz. He was involved in it. For me, Morris Lapidus is a cutting edge architect who came to the scene at the right time, at the right place, and took it to that unique destination of what people call MIMO. I also like architecture by architects like Roy France, that he celebrated the tower. So you have it on multiple buildings, from the Versailles to the Cadillac, and it has that inspiration tower, which is very, I think, unique and special. And Albert Annis. Albert Annis is one of the greatest architects, and they all, and we don't have enough time, but I can talk about it for hours.
Yeah.
The Raleigh Hotel and how it relates to one another, and how they step back as they get taller, and how they step forward to the street as they get shorter. Those are the kind of things we do on a daily basis. So I think that is a very unique
Right.
sort of design. As far as projects that I have done,
Yeah. You have only 3 to me. It's going to be
only
hard.
3. I
Only
have 2. I have 2 that I'm working on, and I'm still working on. And one is my oldest son, and one is my youngest son. Those are my favorite 2 projects. but no, seriously, I like projects like Fisher Island. I like projects like the Surf Club. I like projects.
Oh, 3. So Fisher
Panorama.
Island,
Yes, I like Fisher Island.
Surf Club.
Surf Club is very nice.
It's amazing. The most successful project, probably highest per square feet in Miami.
So far, yes.
Yes, changed Surfside completely.
Yes.
Think about what happened in that neighborhood. It's more expensive than Bal Harbor.
You know,
right?
I'll tell you a funny little story. Do I have time to tell? Can I tell my little story? Thank you. You know, when I did the Surf Club in 2012, and the developer never built anything before in Florida, and he came to me from a gentleman who owned the property before the Capri, which was Mark Siffin, and people said, Kobi, why are you working with somebody who's never developed before? They have no experience. There's no chance that they're going to get this built, and it's in Surfside. It's not Bal Harbor, Kobi. You understand that? It's not Miami Beach. Time for you to wake up. And then at the end of the day, when we finished the Surf Club, and it became a 4 Seasons, which helped, and Richard Meyer, who's a dear friend, I brought him on board to Nadim. People didn't understand it until they walked in. And then they go, wow. So it took time for people to be cognizant.
Really, I can't think of any other one project, impacting the value of a neighborhood so much like a Surf Club, right?
Yeah, it's
That,
the crown jewel of Surfside.
let's talk a little bit less interesting subject, multifamily.
Yes.
Modern is strong in the multifamily. What are the 3 biggest design trends in multifamily that you see now going forward?
Look, I think that multifamily is a way of life.
Right.
It's a way for you to get up in the morning and walk into your kitchen. And even though the apartment might be big or small, You turn around after you made your coffee and you're looking over the open kitchen and over the family room and you have a great view to the outside. That's a floor plan. I think the floor plans have to be designed and laid out properly. And we have been lucky to do that over the years and the decades, and that's part of the reason why we're successful and sell for the highest price per foot, or at least for the highest price per foot. But at the end of the day, you need to have the good quality of life. Whether it's the balcony in the terrace, or whether it's the amenity area, whether it's the way you get dropped off or you get picked up, it's the ease of living. If you can, and that comes from hospitality. If you can understand that and draw upon it, you will create a good multifamily. I'll give you an example. Multifamily, we do workforce housing, affordable housing, a lot of affordable housing. People come out of a Red Rooster, the restaurant in Overtown.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, que lindo, I'd love to live here. Look at this beautiful building. And that building is affordable housing. It's subsidized.
Right.
But it's not workforce housing. It is not market rate. And it's certainly not condos. But it has to be designed properly and come across properly for people to want and desire to live there.
And you see, what do you think in the future multifamily is going to increase? Because
Yes.
it's a very high ratio here in the United States of renting versus buying.
Yes.
You think it's just going to, is a lifestyle here in America?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very few people will want to own real estate.
Yeah.
The taxes and the liability and everything. You can come in, you can rent, big or small, furnished or not. I can move into a beautiful furnished apartment right now
Yeah.
in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Just move in. Cable, everything is connected. All I got to do is walk in with my Wi-Fi, and even the bed is there. And if I want, I can put a new mattress.
Furniture? You think the furnishing
Yes.
is going to be a thing coming in?
Yes, I think less is more. I think people want less headache, less. They don't want to move their furniture into the building and have a collection of, oh, I banged up the bed and the sofa. They don't put the art. They don't want to do that. Oh, it's very nice. It's fixed up.
Yeah.
Let me move in.
Next, we have a short game. It's called Buy, Build, or Bail. I'm going to give you
Buy, build, or
build it right now, so it's time to develop.
Yeah.
Buy it, it's like maybe like a longer term holding, or bail. It's overpriced, overestimated. I'm going to give you a few neighborhoods,
go ahead.
and you tell me what you think. So I'm going to
Yes.
each time I'm going to give you three. The first one: Design District, Edgewater, or Midtown.
Build
Which one? Build right now. Design, Edgewater,
Yes.
or Midtown.
all of them.
All of them.
Yes.
You don't bail on any. Okay.
I've lived
Which
in-
one you like more? One of the three. Okay. If you have one to buy now, design, and you Kobe with your son, you're gonna buy a property, one property. You're gonna develop it. Design District, Edgewater, Midtown. You can choose one of them right now. Empty
It's
lot.
already Midtown.
Empty lot.
I would buy definitely for sure in Design District.
Okay. Let's do another one. Brickell, Waynewood, or downtown Miami.
I would buy them all.
Okay. But which one you develop right now?
All of them.
Let me choose one. You have money for one.
I hate to tell you, I'd go and get money for all three of them. Right now, I'm building in Edgewater. Right now, I'm building in Wynwood. Right now, I'm building in downtown. The demand is greater than the supply.
But Wynwood is a little of excess supply right now, right? There's like they're giving concessions. A little bit. Wynwood is a little bit oversupply in the market.
Some people.
Downtown, you can say, yeah, it's not yet there. It's coming.
Let me tell. Look, I did Panorama Tower in downtown for Lev Levayev
Right.
and Chai Bomagrin when they had, and then came along Tibor Hollow, and Tibor Hollow built it, and it's full. We just finished a building, flow on the Miami River, 650 units, at least 80% in 80 days.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think it did so good?
Demand is greater than supply. It's a public record.
Aventura, Hollandale Beach, Hollywood. Right now, you buy one.
I'm building Fendi in
not that you don't-
Aventura. It's selling a new condo. People go,
Okay,
thank
tell
you,
us the
Kobe."
Fendi. Aventura Fendi is a condo building?
Condo.
Nice.
Yes.
What they're selling there? Over 1,000?
Yes.
How's it going? There's not a lot of new product in Aventura.
That's what. There's no new product. You're preaching to the choir.
We lived in Aventura for many years.
I'm
they
telling
need-
you, there's no fresh new product. There's a lot of speculation. Come here, I buy the land, I move here. No, give me a new
Where's
product.
the Fendi? Where's it located?
Fendi is on when you go around the golf course.
Yeah.
It is on the north side.
Right.
by the street that penetrates when you go to the shops
Right.
over there. That's where it is.
Oh, nice. You moved your office to Wynwood.
I did.
So what is that indication about Wynwood? What do you think?
No, I've been working in Wynwood before.
Your office before was on Biscayne Boulevard,
On
Edgewater.
29th.
Yeah.
Regretfully, I sold it. I bought it for 10, I sold it for 20. Because my partner wanted to sell. But if it was up to me, I would have kept it. It just goes up in value. You can't build it for the price
Yeah.
that you're buying it.
Right.
So why sell?
And you bought the place where now right now you're there in Wynwood?
I bought it and I had a lease back with Miami Advertising School.
Right.
And they stayed there for 2-3 years. And then they said, Kobe, we want to check out. I said, great. They checked out and we checked in.
So tell us what do you think about Wynwood a little bit. Now we have a project together, the Dorisa in Wynwood
Home
on
run.
North Miami.
Home run.
And so
50-yard line. Great location.
what's going on with Wynwood? What do you think?
Wynwood-
Where's it gonna be 5-10 years from now, Wynwood?
It's Wynwood right now. I'll give you a little secret. There's a guy called Moshe Mana.
Yeah.
He owns a lot of land.
Right.
He's not a developer.
Right.
Do you think he's going to sell his land?
For 1.2 billion.
Yes, sir.
To Citadel. You think so? It's happening this deal?
You're catching on.
Huh? You think it's happening?
Let's say it happens with Citadel. Let's say it doesn't happen with Citadel. Let's say it happens with somebody else. That is the direction it's going.
Yeah.
It's unstoppable. It's a public record. The quantity of people who move to Florida on an annual basis need a place to live.
Because that's tremendous for Wynwood. The rumors are, it was in the real deal also, that they're bringing a university there, technology.
For sure.
I heard some Israeli tech companies, like 3 of them that I met that are moving from New York to
Japanese
Wynwood.
tech,
It's a
Spanish
cool area
tech,
for technology, right?
Brazilian. Look, if I'm Brazilian and I live in
How is it
Brazil,
to have your office in Wynwood?
I love it.
A lot of restaurants. What do you have there? Like a lot of options to go.
Pastis. I got every restaurant, every delivery. It's great.
Oh, so now you're Kobi Karp. You're going back in time. You're 20,
Yes.
20 years old, you're
I wish.
university, but you have that advice
I wish.
from the present to the back, and you can tell yourself, so what is it? I want to be the best in technology.
Yes. Best in
Number
technology.
one, number two advice.
Yes. And then I would take a bunch of old farts like me
Yeah,
and use them for their knowledge and experience. That's exactly what I did
right.
in 1990.
So go work for some old farts or
Yes.
like ourselves and
Yes.
get experience
I
before
al-
you jump on.
Yes, sir. I always had gray hair guys, men and women working in my office with experience
Right.
who would draw it up and teach me the things I did not know.
How many people you have now there?
We have about 90 people in
Wow.
Florida. We have another 30, 40 outside of Florida. You know, I have people who've worked with me for decades, and they come to me and say, "Oh, Kobe, I want to move and live in Switzerland, you know, or in Finland." But they're connected to the servers. So today with technology, we have an ability to do so.
Nice, nice. How many projects you have going, like in general, every moment?
I don't count. I don't know.
You have an operation. Who runs all this? You have like a
The
chief operating
the direct-
officer.
The directors of the company,
Yeah.
we have multiple. They run it and they run with teams. Because, you know, if you can't have a pinnacle where there's one person. Because if God forbid something happens to me, there are 6 people who can take it over
Right.
tomorrow, the next day.
But I'm thinking like, okay, you're creative, you're design, but managing a company of 90 architects, directors, and all that requires a lot of managerial skills also. So it's not something you're born, with, right? And like
Yes.
a lot of logistics and
Yes.
and employees is very difficult part.
You know, my mentality growing up in the Midwest is look at always the bright side.
Right.
When I meet somebody, not everybody wants to be an architect, but they do like to work in architecture office. And because they like to work in architecture office, but they're really good at dealing with people, maybe they're in HR. But you know, maybe if they're really good in dealing with construction, maybe they go in the construction field. Maybe if they're really good in talking to the client and have intellectual conversations, maybe they're the people who will speak to the client and deal with the client. Yet the client at the end of the day wants delivery. Can you deliver? How fast can you deliver?
Yeah.
I need it done now. I need the solutions now. So you need to be able to talk to people and you need to be able to deliver.
Yeah.
Talking is one thing, delivering is a whole other rodeo. And then the
execution.
construction is a whole different field. And then you need to have a comprehensive understanding. Where's the financing coming from? How do you lock up the land?
Yeah.
How do you negotiate it? Wait, what if there's an option to make it better if I
Yeah.
turn, if I twist, if I tilt? You know, what if there's contamination? How do I deal with it?
Yeah.
And that's what we do on a daily basis. We solve problems, and you have to be a problem solver. So you need to use your experience and your brain. And that's why when I was younger, I only dealt with older people.
Yeah.
They would just download on me stuff that I would have never thought about, experience. Now that I'm older, the younger people just won't talk to me. I just want to figure out how they're doing the AI so quick, so nice, based on the plans that actually meet code and requirements that we do.
Applications.
We use AI. We've been using AI for administration, for writing, for renderings for a long time.
What do you use with Claude? You know, or you don't know even.
I have no idea.
You don't play around with it?
No, I don't have time. I play around people. I deal with people every day. My job is to talk to people, meet people, speak to people.
Well, Kobi, thank you very much for taking the time.
You're very welcome.
And we have 2 great projects going forward, so I'm looking forward. I don't want to talk about them right now, but next time we'll talk more about our
We'll
project.
have more.
Huh?
We'll have more.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
the projects you have right now are going to be sold real
They have
quick.
potential to grow bigger and bigger, so
They
we
will.
can talk more about them next time.
Oh, yeah.
תודה רבה.
Hey, you're most welcome. בבקשה, נשמה.